Hello, everybody. I am Emily, aka Cookies and Cross Stitch, and you are watching my first ever Flosstube episode. Like I said, my name is Emily. I'm a mom to the sweetest three little girls, a wife to a farmer. I'm a cookie baker, a gardener, a cross stitcher. What am I reading? I don't know. That's a little bit about who I am. I have, like I said, three little girls. My youngest is about 5.5 months, and my oldest is 6, so she'll be in first grade next year. She loved kindergarten, and summer started, I think, a week and a half ago. Her and my middle are both playing. One's playing t-ball and one's playing blast ball. So we have a t-ball game tonight, the first one of the season, because the first one got canceled on Tuesday. And then the second blast ball game yesterday got canceled. And it has been monsoon season for real. I think we've gotten like 6 inches or more in the last few weeks, which it's kind of to the point where it needs to stop because the farmers need the ground to dry so they can do anything with it. It is helping the crops grow, but it's going to be crazy. Once they can actually get out and do work, it'll be very, very busy. The garden has been loving it, although yesterday it was kind of flooded. Not yesterday, the day before. Whatever day, I don't know what day of the week it is. Don't ask me. I think it's Friday. Maybe. Anyways, I am starting a Flosstube because I love watching it all day long. I'm watching all the videos. I think the first Flosstube I ever discovered was Stitching with the Housewives. And they are the best. I love them. I love watching them. I love just hearing about their life and stitching and everything. And then I don't know, from there I discovered that Flosstube was a thing. I've also watched Sweetwater Stitcher, the Emily the Shady Grove Stitcher, Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher, The Happiest Stitches on Earth. I'm trying to think who else I watch regularly. There's a lot, and I love them all. They're so much fun to watch and so much fun to see what everybody's working on. And I've been wanting to make Flosstube for months. I even tried a couple times, but my kids would always interrupt, and then I never went back and edited. So it's fine. We're gonna do it again. 2 out of the 3 are napping, and the third one is, I don't know what she's doing. She's old enough to entertain herself. It's fine. I started cross stitch in January, so I guess it's like 6 months ago now. And I started it because I was holding my sweet little baby all day long, nursing her and letting her just take all of her little naps on my shoulder. And I needed a hobby. I was spending way too much time on my phone. I was playing phone games, and my screen time was out of control. So I decided I'm going to find a hobby. I started out by trying punch needle, which looked way easy and was really fun. However, it didn't really work while holding a baby because you really had to punch through the cloth, as the name implies, and it just wasn't the best with baby. So then I was like, you know what? Let's try cross stitch. I had attempted it once, maybe 20 years ago when I was pretty young. My aunt and my mom tried to teach me, and I could not understand at all. I had trouble looking at the chart and seeing the chart and lining it up with the grid on the paper. I didn't understand where the X's went. I didn't understand at all. I kind of wish that we would have saved whatever I had worked on. It was a Power Cat. K-State, go Cats. But it was terrible. And my aunt probably told me I was hopeless. And it's kind of been a joke ever since, hey, remember that time you learned how to cross stitch? And it was a never again until I needed a hobby, and then I tried it again. And now I love it, and it makes total sense to me, and I understand because I watched a few TikToks, and caterpillar cross stitch helped me figure it out. So one of these days I might make a video of all my past finishes. I have mostly been a monogamous stitcher, and I've just been plowing through a bunch of smalls, and right now I'm finally getting into some bigger ones. But I've been mostly monogamous, so I don't have a ton of WIPs. I just have a lot of finishes, and I don't want to go through all of them on this video, so I'll probably come back and just show you like the evolution. But I did want to show you my first ever little snaily. This one is a kit. I ordered it on Amazon, and it was pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure it's for children, and it came with all the floss. I don't think it's DMC. It doesn't feel very quality. And then I just got this little frame at Joann's when they were closing, and it holds a hoop, and I need to get one more of these. But so there's a little snaily, and if you see it up close, there are so many mistakes, but it really doesn't look that bad. So it's fine. My oldest loves snails, so this one was for her. I found it and I thought, oh, she'll love it. It's so cute. And he is really cute. So there's my first ever stitch. And then after that, I think my next one was actually that doll horse hanging up back there. I have that. I have a doll horse print. I have a doll horse cookie over here. Like I said, this is my cookie room. I am a cookie lady, and I do decorated sugar cookies, and that is my main thing. And then I also do like gourmet drop cookies, which you can see some ingredients over here, cookie supplies back there, all the things. So I did that doll horse, and then I did that while I waited for this to come in the mail. This was my next kit. It, I think, is a, I thought it was Dimensions kit. Maybe it's not. It's Learn a Craft, and it is for children, for sure. The Ada was 11 count. Okay, I thought I heard a kid, so I paused it, but I guess not. This is for my second. She loves Minnie Mouse, or as we call her, Mousy. There she is. She probably has mistakes. I don't know. I don't see any. She looks fine. She was a lot of backstitching, which I had never heard of until Mr. Snail. But super cute, super quick, super easy. She thinks she's going to make this, and she's going to do it herself. And she's 3. It might be a while. So those were my first 2 stitches, and then I've done some stitching with the Housewives, some freebies I've found. I've done a lot of freebies. I've done quite a bit, and I will show them all eventually. But I'm going to show you also for finishes my spring finishes, because I need to put my Easter decorations away still. So this is one that I did in a day. This is a sampler from Pinker and Pumpkin, and I want to put a trim on it, but I haven't come up with anything to do yet. Maybe next year. I love the little butterflies. So this is just a sampler. I just used random colors I had in my stash. Couldn't tell you what they are. I might have it written down somewhere. I love it. It's on tea-dyed 14 count Ada. I use the Stitching with the Housewives dyeing method, and I've done that on a lot of my stuff. But I thought this was so cute. I just put some thrift store fabric in the back and polyfill, which I probably could have improved the look, but that's all right. It's a seasonal decor piece. It's fine. And then I also did this little bunny. I think this is called Peter's Day Out. Let me pull it up on my iPad. It was a freebie from, I believe, Lindy Stitches. I don't know if it's on here or not. It must be just on my phone. But it was really cute. I changed to the tea-dyed 14 count Ada, and I also just used random colors I had in my stash, and I love it. It's so cute. So there are 2 of those. And then my other Easter project. This is a Lizzie Kate. I think I put that away. It's called Easter Express. And I picked this pattern up at my thrift store, which is fun because Lizzie Kate is from Wichita, which is like an hour south of us. So I got this pattern. I didn't have the Ada color it called for. So I dyed with aqua, I think, grit dye, and then I tea coffee dyed it. And I did some color swapping for whatever I had on hand. And then it was a weird size, and I didn't leave enough margin. Typical. So I found this frame, and it was kind of awkward, but it was cute for the holiday. I hot glued, there's some foam board, and then I hot glued this onto foam board, and then I hot glued it together. And I painted the frame, and I just got rid of whatever was inside. So this like whole entire project maybe cost me $5. Sorry, interrupted again. So there's that one. I love it. That was my first Lizzie Kate, which was kind of fun. And then I also have these two I grabbed. These are Stitching with the Housewives. This is zinnias, and I love growing my zinnias. And we have chickens, so this was perfect. A random fat quarter I picked up. And then I finished it with a patch on the back with some rickrack on the sides. I did it on 14 count black Ada, and then I used whatever colors I had. I also did this one. I think it was supposed to be on like a teal background, but I did it on black, so it matched the other one. And then I used whatever colors I had on hand there. That will focus better. And I color swapped like the handle to be turquoise instead. And then I have a random fat quarter I picked up again, and some rickrack that kind of sort of matches. I don't know. I like it. It's fun. So those are my FFOs. And then I have some unfinished finishes. Another Easter one, got this. I loved seeing everyone do these this spring. And so I ordered it and finally got it. Like, I think I started this on Easter or the day before Easter. I did, what's this one called? Easter Parade on tea coffee dyed 28 count even weave. And then I think it's mostly called for DMC. I might have subbed out a couple colors, but I thought that one was so pretty. And then my next one, also Eastery, but also like not so Easter. It could be all spring. The Rabbit in the Rose. I kept seeing this and loved it. Little did I know I would enter my rose era. I have planted 5 rose bushes this year, and I already had some. So I think we're up to 12 now. I think this is mostly all called for. Like, I'm pretty sure everything is called for DMC here. Although, actually, no, I didn't have the right color for the rabbit. So I wanted it darker, so I tea coffee dyed my floss. And it turned out perfect. I love it. I love that teal color. It did not look teal at all online, but it was perfect. Okay, so there's all my spring and Easter stuff. My next finish, I just finished this last week, is, let me see if I can show you. Hands on Design Knee High. I bought this a while ago. I think it was when Emily, the Shady Grove Stitcher, posted hers. It was like, I have to do it. So I ordered it, and then I didn't start it for a while. And then I really didn't finish it for a long while. But here it is, knee high by the 4th of July, which is, you always say the corn needs to be knee high by the 4th of July in order for it to be ready to harvest at the right time. I was off by a stitch, but I don't think you can tell. It's fine. Totally fine. Just slightly uneven. I love it. I love it. And I didn't have, like that gray is not called for, I don't think. It's just whatever random I had. I couldn't find all the colors because I was going to Joann's when it was closing. So I got what I got. And this, I made it. It's 8 1/4 wide, the fabric is. So it will not fit into an 8 by 10. Yay. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do, like, try to squeeze it into an 8 by 10 or force my husband to make me a frame, because he won't want to, but he totally has the ability. So we will see what happens. I think that is all of my finishes that I'm going to show today. I've heard that my baby might be awake and waiting for me, but she's usually pretty happy when she wakes up, so I'm not super worried. I'm going to show you my next WIP. None of this is pressed either. Is This I Know by Plum Street Samplers. This one I got when I needed some floss for a couple things, and my sister was coming over to my house that night, and I texted her that day and I said, can you go next door and get me what I need? So I sent her to the list, and she went to my L&S, which I have not been to yet, but my sister went there and she got me everything I needed. So bless her. I also added this to my list of things I needed because I love it. We sing Jesus Loves Me. That's like our bedtime song. So I had to have it. I had to do it. And I started it last week. And it is on this Dreamy, I think it's 28 count, I think. And I think it might be Annabelle, which is like an old fabric that's no longer in production. Apparently, it's amazing and I love it. But I've started the church. I haven't gotten any of the fancy flosses yet, but I subbed out this color for one I had because I didn't really care if it was fancy floss or not. And then I tea coffee dyed these, which you can't really tell yet, but I think as I keep going, hopefully you'll see the variation a little more. I love it. I stitch everything in hand, and this fabric is dreamy. I posted on a Facebook group yesterday, like, does anybody know if you can buy this anywhere? And there were like 3 places on Etsy and 1 on eBay. But here are all my colors that I have so far. Like I said, I still need the fancy floss, which means I need to get myself to floss a needle so I can get it. And then I have to show you these. These are so cool. These are from Casey Needlepoint. I had to order 1 thing of floss, and it was free shipping from Kansas City, which is like 3 hours away. I live in Kansas, by the way, in a small town. And then I got these scissors that fold up. Love it. I've been like dreaming about having like scissors with a lanyard that fold. And then they just appeared. So that was cool. I didn't buy them or anything. They just put them in my order, which was only 1 thing. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. And then my other WIP that I have right now is my favorite thing ever. You didn't see that, right? Right. So my mom used to cross stitch, and she passed away a few years ago, and she had made a stocking for my sister, which she never quite finished, and she had started my stocking and never finished. And I had thought, like, I want to make my stocking that mom had started for me, and now I have to find the picture. And I asked my dad if he knew where any of my mom's stuff was. Sorry, kid again. So here it is. It's beautiful and I love it. I am a nativity collector. I have, I don't know, probably like 50, and they're just my favorite thing about Christmas. I zipped it up instead of opening it. So I have been, okay, sorry. Big sister being so responsible. So here it is. It got something spilled on it at some point when my mom had it, and I got it with a real bad stain. I did get it mostly out, but I didn't want to scrub or anything because it's hand stitched and it's stitched by my mom. So here it is. It still needs the angels up top with the name and a lot of back stitching, and there were pieces in here that I had to redo. I had to completely take out Mary's face because it was off by a couple, and then I've had to work on filling in random places. Yesterday I got this back out and I filled in the gray around the lamb and then some of the straw around baby Jesus. And I cannot believe she counted all the way back down to where I think that's the wise men are. I was going to stitch down there one day and I was like, not a chance. If that counting is off, I don't want to undo what I did. I will undo what she did if she messed up, because I would have 100% counted wrong and had to redo it. So I'm not going to trust that she did it right either. But there's a ton of floss for this. And when I got all of her stitching and stuff, it came with all the floss. So she had a stitch bow binder full of this floss, and it had the book, and it had my stocking. And I didn't have much else, but that's really all I needed. And I am gonna try to get it done maybe by Christmas this year. TBD. I haven't been working on it very much. But I believe it's on 14 count ivory Ada from like the early 2000s, so it's better quality than what I've found so far. And I wish it was all made like that. But it is, sorry, I don't think I showed you. It is out of this book. The stockings were hung by Leisure Arts. And you can find this on eBay. And it says it is book 16 on the back, if that helps. There's some really cool stockings in here. And I kind of want to make one for everyone in my family, which is actually why I started a hobby, because I want to have matching heirloom stockings. So I thought, well, cross stitch would get me there. And then I have not started this yet, but I was working on kitting it up. I want to do this so bad. Let me cover this name. This is not mine, but I don't want that on the internet. So my mother-in-law's neighbor, he had all of his previous wife's stitching, I think. I don't know. He just said, I still have my old wife's stuff. Do you want it? And I was like, sure. He doesn't want to get rid of it, and he doesn't want to do anything with it. So I was happy to take it off his hands. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And I saw this when I was going through everything. And then the next day on Facebook, someone was posting it. And I was like, man, I have that. I want to do it too. So I don't have all the colors. There's like a lot of colors in this project, but here's what I do have. And some of this is called for and some of this is similar, and I haven't gone through everything. I think I'm just kind of going to go through as I go, section by section. So I think I'm going to do it in like a lot of sections. I'm going to start with the honeycomb in the middle, obviously, and I have all the floss I need, I think, for that mostly. And if not, I won't get what I need. And then I'm going to work out, do the pathways, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll do this, and I'll do the border. And I haven't decided yet if I want to do the whole border or not, but I think I do because I really like that honeycomb over there. Sorry, now I have kids above me. So I'm going to do this, and I'm really pumped to start it. And I'm going to stitch it on this linen. I'm guessing it's Irish linen from Charles Craft, circa 1990s, 1980s. It all came in the same lady's stash. I got so much. So I didn't get any floss, but I got fabric and patterns, and I can't believe it. I got so many good things. So that is another future wish. It hasn't started yet. And while I was at it, I went ahead and I made copies of this, which I found in the magazine my mom had in her binder. I saw that one day and I loved it. And then again on the same Facebook group, somebody posted, everyone's gathering honey, and I'm gonna do this one too. And I was like, well, dang it, now I gotta do it. So I'll probably find one of the pieces of fabric I have here, probably a 28 count. They also made it into a pillow, which I think is beautiful. And I don't love sunflowers that much, even though I'm from Kansas. But I am from Kansas, so I'm okay with them. So I'm gonna make this at some point. And I think that is all of my projects. I will also show you this because I like it a lot. When I got this lady's stash, I was going through the fabric and I found a few of her WIPS. So this one is called Blueberry Homecoming. It is from, what is it called? Something Garden. I don't remember what the name of the company is. Everything's in cursive. I can't remember what it's called. But if you look up Blueberry Homecoming cross stitch, I think you find it. And it's like an Amish family with blueberry bushes in front of a house with quilts, and it's so pretty. And I would love to make this like a Swedish family with blueberries because Swedes love blueberries, but it's already Amish, and I think I'm gonna probably at some point try to finish that. So I'm going to put this with my WIPS because I like it a lot, and it's already like halfway done, so there's no reason to not finish it since she never got it finished. But going through somebody's stash, it feels so personal. I found a bunch of projects that she had finished, but not FFO'd, and a bunch of projects she was working on, and I got so much fabric. Back there is some fabric that I ironed today, but I will show you just a little bit of her stash because it's impressive. And then I also got my husband's grandma's fabric, so some of that is what's back there. This 28 count. This is my stack of 28 linens. There's some Annabelle, which I legitimately love. There's some even weaves. This was before everything was hand dyed. This one's cool. Mommy. Okay, I had to pause again. And then this is some 16 count that I got. An 18 count. There's some like still new in the package. So there's a lot of this, and I've gone through and I've ironed out everything. Anything that was stained or dirty, I put it into this bag, and this will be my stash of stuff to dye from. So if I want to dye a color or tea coffee, I will use that because that, I mean, it already has a few stains. It's not like ruined, but it's not perfectly white or whatever. And then this is all my 14 count. There's a lot, and there's a lot of colors, and I don't know that I'll use it all, but I should never need fabric in my life. So I think that is most of it. I was gonna show you just a little bit of the patterns I got from her stash. It's crazy. There's some Prairie Schooler Santas. This is a book 20, and it originally cost a whole whopping $4. Look at that mess. I mean, I didn't pay for it, so it's fine with me. And then I've kind of organized like all the Christmas together. And then there's samplers. Like, this one's kind of cute. Very like 80s, 90s style. Pink parfait. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's so cute. So cute. So there's just a lot of stuff in here that I would love to stitch. I love this fresh eggs and the strawberries. It's like the world's greatest thrift haul, and I didn't even have to thrift for it, but I do love thrifting too. There was another one. Oh, I have this one, and I think that design would be so cool on a pillow. I want to do it all. I just want to do it all. And then there's tons of magazines that have fantastic designs in them. Like this. Again, my love for nativities. I love it. I don't know how to sew yet. I've only sewn by hand. I've never in my life used a sewing machine. So that's fun. Oh, and I was going to show you the stitch bow binder, although I've kind of deconstructed it. I've taken the stitch bows out. It's kind of a mess right now. This is like a little needle holder that's full of floss currently. Got a needle tin up here, some note cards so I can write down any notes that I have. I have some random batting and scissors in there. These are little pencil pouches from Walmart that make really nice project bags for small projects, but not for the big ones I have right now. And then this big pocket holds my DMC color chart. So I think that is everything. It sounds like my baby is ready for mommy to come get her. Or maybe just my 6-year-old is ready for mommy to go get the baby so she doesn't have to entertain her, because how dare I leave her with the baby she begs for all day long. Kids, they're so fun. So I don't even know what time it is. Almost 5. We have a t-ball game in a couple hours, so we're gonna get ready for that. We're gonna, I don't know, I guess it'll be fun. I think she's missing her friends. So the other day she was like, I don't really want to go, but it got canceled. She was totally fine with it. And now she's like, I miss my friends. I want to go see them. So we're going to go see her friends, and she's going to play t-ball, and it'll be fun. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy some stitching this weekend. I don't know. I want to start the honeycomb, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm also really loving the sino stitch, and I had a lot of fun working on my stocking. So here again, I love it. I want it to be done. I want it to be on my wall. It's so pretty, but it's so much stitching because that whole church is filling, all the grass. It's gonna take a while, but it'll be a fun while. So I will hopefully, there's Alexa telling me a package got delivered. I hopefully will make a video every couple weeks. I don't think I would have enough content for every week, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have stitched a lot this week, even though I had a cookie order, and I should have brought a cookie to show you, but I didn't. Sorry. Maybe someday. Anyways, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again soon.